No, I'm saying when you say destroy and sweep them out of existence, that sounds like a punishment.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. You're being punished for doing good.
Right? So my point is that it's not mentioning anything to do with punishment here. It's saying the point is here is if you did not commit sins, if you did not make any mistakes, he would have removed you and replaced you with a creation that would make mistakes and would seek forgiveness and would turn back to him. So
you being removed from existence.
Yeah, you wouldn't even be there. You would.
So you don't think that's a punishment?
When I imagine punishment, I imagine it coming with pain. If someone removes you and you never exist and you don't feel any pain, that's different.
So I don't get to go to paradise because I was too good.
You don't get to go to paradise because you were too good.
Hello amazing viewers, welcome back to Religious Insight in this fascinating episode of our usual debate between Godlogic and Muslims. In this very episode, a Muslim got shocked to learn that Islam teaches that Allah replaces people who don't sin. This has proven that Islam is a religion where the more you sin, the more righteous you become. Let's watch this video to find out exactly what happened.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, I'm good, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Welcome to the stage.
Thank you very much. So, would you say Allah is God?
That what?
Would you say Allah has God?
Allah has God?
You know the Hebrew for God, isn't it Allah?
No, the Hebrew word for God is Elo or El.
Let me double check that.
Okay. You might be thinking of the Aramaic.
Allah has God. Allah has God?
What is that?
Is it just me or is it an echo in your stream?
No, I heard like a little voice just for a second. It's good now though, it's gone.
Yeah, it's good. Let me pull up the Aramaic. It might be Aramaic.
Yeah, Aramaic is what you're thinking of. Eloha.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually Aramaic. The Hebrew is, like you said, Elohim, Eloah. So, would you say the Aramaic for God is Allah or Aloha?
Sorry, I was trying to gotta bear with me, bro. I'm new to this type of streaming. But what'd you say? You asked me a question?
Yeah. So I was just saying that the Aramaic is Aloha, right? Aloha. And it sounds like it can also be pronounced as Allah.
It's close.
So, because I'm aware that they're both Semitic languages, so to me it sounds like the same thing to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about the word itself. I'm not saying that the word Allah doesn't mean God. Like, other linguists can argue that or not. That's not my issue. I can grant that. Yeah. What I'm saying is that the Allah that is described in Islam doesn't meet the qualifications of who and what God is, like all powerful, independent, stuff like that. I think morally good, devoid of evil. That's what I'm saying, that the Allah of Islam isn't a true God. So
those standards that you're saying that disqualify Allah as God due to, let's say, something as perceived as immoral or evil to you, wouldn't you say they are present in the Old Testament as well?
No, like there's no evil in God. Like you would agree that the one that wants us to sin isn't God. It will be the devil or our own desires that we have within ourselves, right? Yeah. So, but in Islam, it teaches that like Allah actually wants us to sin, and if we don't, and let me characterize it correctly. He wants us to sin so that we ask him for forgiveness, and then he can show off his mercy and forgive us. If we do not sin, then Muhammad says in the Hadith that he would wipe us from existence and replace us with sinners, so that right there, that's tough.
Yeah, no, I do want to ask about how he asks us or wants us to sin, but I just want to say, I know you normally do these TikTok streams, so how is it?
What is that?
I'm not sure.
It's like some kind of AI kind of echo comes up every now and then. No, I mean, it just happened twice just now.
Yeah, I'm hearing that too.
That's gotta just be some weird stuff on TikTok.
Okay. All right. But yeah, did you have a question on what I was saying?
Yeah, I was just saying, is this different to your normal streams? Or?
Yeah, bro. I'm trying a new streaming system, and so because my old streaming system stopped working for me. It's not too well.
Are you just on TikTok or is this on YouTube as well?
Yeah, I'm on both. And so for YouTube, I got to use something like OBS. That's another streaming software that I'm not used to at all. I'm like brand new to it. All right, so I just muted something, so then maybe that might fix it.
There's another one down here.
So you see what I'm saying? If somebody could already manage this, that would be great. Instead, I gotta focus on the conversation and the chat, and then also this when people pop in here. Crazy stuff. Anyway, so what do you think about that? About Allah wanting us to sin so that He can forgive us, and if we do not sin, then He'll basically destroy us. He'll wipe us out.
All right. So, what do you mean Allah wants us to sin?
So Muhammad says, if you do not commit sin, if you would not commit sin, then Allah would sweep you out of existence and replace you with people who would sin and ask for forgiveness, and He will forgive them.
So, do you have a problem with Him creating a creation that can make mistakes?
No, I have a problem with Him wanting us to sin and punishing people for not sinning. That's the issue.
So, like, what's the concept from your paradigm? Is it you believe that God created us to be perfect, or?
Well, yeah, God creates us to love Him and fellowship with Him and each other.
Yeah.
Hold on one second. People are saying that my volume is lacking.
No, it's good. It's good.
Volume up right there at the bottom. See where it says mic? Turn it all the way up.
All right.
Advance. And then you see where you have the 258. You see where it says 00 dBs?
Yeah.
Just put 5.0 right there. There you go. Let's just close it.
Okay. All right, guys. I hope my sound is much better now. Okay. So
I think
it's too loud now.
Yeah, it's got like a large bass in the background.
All right. Now what? Is it still bad?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. So we'll try it like this. Okay. Yeah, the guest is going to be louder than me on the desktop, guys. But my as long as you guys can hear me fine and clear, it should be fine. You know, doesn't matter if they're louder than me or not. As long as you guys can hear me, it's good. Okay. All right. Everybody's saying it's better. All right. Awesome.
You just change it. But don't even worry about the comments, bro. Just, it sounds good. I'm listening to it.
All right.
People are complaining, bro. Just turn their phones up. Like, I don't understand. Just turn the volume back to where it was at.
But even he said it was too loud for him.
Yeah, it was fine in the beginning.
Because you just set it for YouTube. You didn't change anything for his settings.
All right. Well, okay. I'll leave it like this. Yeah. All right. So let's continue, man.
Yeah,
It's okay, guys. This is a rough patch. We gonna get this smooth out. The more we do this, the more we practice in this, it should get good. All right, go ahead, man.
Yeah, I was just saying, if God creates us in a way that's not perfect, and it means that we can make mistakes, that isn't a deficiency on God.
I agree. Him creating us with the ability to make mistakes is not a deficiency of God. However, if God desires for us to make mistakes, if He desires for us to disobey Him, then that would be a flaw on God. Wouldn't you agree? That He wants us to do evil rather than good?
Yes.
And so that's what this hadith is communicating. It says that if you do good perfectly, if you don't sin, meaning you're doing good and not evil, Allah's going to destroy you and replace you with people that would do evil, so that they ask forgiveness, and then He'll forgive them.
Yeah, so I'm just going to read out the hadith from the source just to make sure you're quoting it correctly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's inside Muslim.
All right.
I'll pull it up too. Sweep you out of existence. All right. Okay, here we go. So here's going to be my first time trying to share a screen. Okay. Window capture. No. Yeah, window capture. No. Okay. All right. Display capture. That's tough. All right. Capture. Okay. Yes. All right. Oh, but on TikTok it's like not. Whatever. Let me see.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
You hear me?
Sorry, guys. You guys gotta stay mute over here until I bring you guys up. All right. Can you see the source on the screen?
Yeah, I can. Not completely, but yeah.
So this is interesting. So I need to work out a way to where, I share a source, but it doesn't block me. You get what I'm saying?
I think you might have to block the title.
No, it don't work like that. Okay, so
Yeah, you didn't. The TikTok backed out. That's the thing. You don't have the TikTok size right properly.
okay. But what even on YouTube though, even here on YouTube, like even if I have it here, it's okay. We're gonna learn as we go. We'll get it together. We'll get it together, man. This is awesome. Hold on, what over here?
No, on the
over here.
Yeah. Hold Alt at the top and just drop those down. Yeah. Then you can size it. You just pull the corner down.
Yeah, it's too small. Okay. I'll just keep it right here for now. All right, so it says the Society Muslim 2749, and it says, by him in whose hand is my life. This is Muhammad speaking. By him in whose hand is my life. If you were not to commit sin, Allah would sweep you out of existence and he would replace you.
Golly, what is that?
There's people coming in. That's all. That's going to be a problem, bro. So it says, by him in whose hand is my life, if you are not to commit sin, Allah would sweep you out of existence and he would replace you by those people who would commit sin and seek forgiveness from Allah, and he would have pardoned them.
Yeah. So that the way you phrase it is almost completely different to the Arabic. It doesn't say sweep you from existence. It says la dhahaba, which means remove.
Yeah, that's the same thing. Sweep you, remove you.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you're being destroyed. You're being wiped out. You don't even exist anymore. You're not in paradise or hellfire. You don't exist anymore because you were doing good, because you are obeying Allah.
Yeah, so when you say sweep you out of existence and destroy, that comes with the connotations that the way that he destroyed the people of Lot, the way that he destroyed them. And this type of phrasing here is saying, if you did not commit any sins, Allah would have removed you and surely brought you the people that would make mistakes and would seek forgiveness, and they will ask forgiveness for him. So that's what I've got here. And I feel like when you look at the other verses
wait, just really quick, you said how you said that this is related to how Allah destroys like the people of Sodom and Gomorrah?
No, I'm saying when you say destroy and sweep them out of existence, that sounds like a punishment.
Yeah, it is. That's what it is. You're being punished for doing good.
Right? So my point is that it's not mentioning anything to do with a punishment here. It's saying, the point is here, is if you did not commit sins, if you did not make any mistakes, he would have removed you and replaced you with a creation that would make mistakes and would seek forgiveness and would turn back to him. So you being removed from existence. Yeah, you wouldn't even be there. You don't think that's a punishment? When I imagine punishment, I imagine it coming with pain. If someone removes you and you never exist and you don't feel any pain, that's different. So I don't get to go to paradise because I was too good. You don't get to go to paradise because you were too good. That's what this is showing me. Okay. At least I don't go to hell, but I don't get to go to paradise either. So let me ask you this. Do you think this is saying if you don't commit any sin, you're just going to get destroyed and you're never going to go to heaven? Correct. It says if you do not sin, he's going to remove you from existence. Okay, so your interpretation of this is saying that if you don't do any sins, you're never going to see paradise. Yeah, I mean, that's what it says, bro. All right. So how about this interpretation? The point that the Prophet was trying to prove was if you did not make any mistakes, he would have replaced you with a creation that would make mistakes and would turn back to him. So the point is that he created you. So when you do make mistakes, because you're not a perfect creation, the point of your creation was, so when you do make the mistakes, you turn back to him and ask for forgiveness. And you can see in the other verses is that, for example, in Quran chapter 2 verse 222, Allah loves those who constantly repent and he loves those who purify themselves. He says, there's a hadith where he says, all the children of Adam commit sins and the best of those who commit sins are those who repent. There's a hadith in Sahih Bukhari which says, the Prophet said, Allah is more pleased with the repentance of his servant than if one of you was about to, he's very pleased with someone who repents. And when you're talking about sins, Allah loves sins, I feel like there's a huge misread on the verse. So let's talk about what it says. All right. Before I do that, actually, I want to make sure that you know that I understand what you're saying. You're saying that Muhammad's point is that that you're going to make mistakes, and when you do, ask for forgiveness, and Allah is ready to forgive you. That's basically what you're saying Muhammad's point is here, right? Yeah. Okay. So I understand what you're saying. The reason why I disagree is that ignores, what he says here. What happens to those who don't commit sins, who follow Allah's commandments perfectly and stuff. So look, by the statement, if you would not commit sin, then Allah would remove you from existence.
and replace you. So Allah is willingly, intentionally replacing the good doers with people who would sin, with evildoers, right? And then they ask for forgiveness, and Allah would forgive them. So based on the, you know, what Muhammad says here, would Allah rather you not sin, or would he rather you sin and ask forgiveness?
He would rather you not sin.
If he would rather you not sin, then why would he remove you from existence if you don't sin and replace you with a sinner?
Yeah, so it is, hypothetically, if someone did not sin, Allah would have to remove them, right, according to this?
No. Well, yes, according to this.
Yeah, right? So but the Prophet said that every son of Adam makes mistakes.
That's fine.
So no one will be removed. Even if
I got you. We're not talking about no one being removed. We're not talking about people being removed or not. We're talking about Allah's intention, what Allah wants, what he desires.
Yeah.
Would he rather you sin and ask forgiveness so that he can forgive you? Or would he rather you not sin and never need his forgiveness?
He would rather us be not sinning.
If he would rather you not sin, and this is why this doesn't make sense to me, my brother. If he would rather you not sin, then he wouldn't replace you with a sinner. You get what I'm saying? If I would rather have a pen, I would not replace the pen with a pencil or a marker. If I would rather have the pen. You get what I'm saying? So if he would rather have the one who doesn't sin, he wouldn't remove them and replace them with a sinner. So that would show that his desire it's the other way around. He would rather have a sinner who seeks forgiveness than a person who is perfect and doesn't sin. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Does that make sense align with the hadith?
No, I get what you're saying. So like, the thing is, right, you're saying he would rather have a creation that doesn't sin, right?
Yeah, he would rather have a creation that does not. He would rather have a human being that sins. That's what he would rather have.
Yeah. So no, you think he's created that, the angels?
Yeah, he created. Oh, you mean the angels? Yeah, he created the angels.
Yeah, so he's done that already.
No, I disagree. The angels. So this isn't about creation. This is about human beings. The angels don't even have free choice in Islam, right? They only have they don't have the choice to choose and obey Allah or not. They have to obey Allah's command. They're programmed like that. There's no other. There's nothing else. Hold on.
Properties and 5.
1 second.
Advanced properties 5. Just take it back to 5 and don't touch it, bro.
Okay.
Just do 3, since they said it was too loud after you swapped it. Just do 3, bro.
All right.
And just leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, the angels, they don't have free choice. They don't have free choice. They're programmed to obey the command of Allah. They don't have a choice to not, obey him. With humans, this is the context of humans. It's different. Humans have the ability to commit sin and disobey Allah or obey him. And the ones that obey him perfectly, they get in trouble. They'll get removed.
Yeah, so you're saying they'll get removed, right? But no one, like I said earlier, the Prophet said every one of us makes mistakes.
Yeah, but that's not what I'm talking about. I understand that we all make mistakes. We all commit sin.
Yeah.
The problem is, what would Allah rather have? What does Allah want you to do? Does he want you to commit sin, or does he want you to not commit sin?
Okay, so he would rather have a creation that always does the perfect actions, and they always do what God wants them to, and they always obey God.
Not Allah. He would rather have human beings that disobey him sometimes and ask for forgiveness.
Yeah. So anyone who goes and disobeys God, they are lower than the angels. Anyone who obeys God, even though they have the choice to disobey God, they'll be higher than the angels. However, like this hadith shows, if you do make mistakes, you should repent, because if you did not make mistakes and if you did not sin, it would have replaced you with a creation that would make mistakes and would turn back to him and would ask for forgiveness.
Do you think that it's just to wipe somebody out for not doing anything wrong?
Nope.
That's what Allah's doing here. He's wiping people out for not doing anything wrong. If you didn't do anything wrong, if you never did anything wrong, he'd wipe you out.
Yeah. All right. So I think there's something that we're not able to understand here. If something is used as a conditional, as a if, to illustrate a point, it does not mean it's actually trying to express a desire or a will.
Yes,
For
it
example,
does.
all right, okay, let's go to something very similar to what Jesus done. Jesus in John 15:22, he says, "If I had not come and spoken to them, they would not have been guilty of sin." So does that mean that he didn't want to come? That he didn't want to come down to the people?
Did he come down to the people?
Exactly, he did.
So he talks about it. So the hypothetical in his situation has nothing to do with him wanting to come down or not. It's the result of him coming down or not. The result of him coming down makes the people guilty of sin for rejecting him. If he did not come down, then they wouldn't be guilty of sin. So
yeah, I agree with you.
So I would say that this actually expresses the desire for God, for Jesus to expose their sin. That's why he came, so that they are guilty, to expose their sin, which would then lead them to repentance. So I would say that shows his desire to expose their sin and make them guilty of it.
Right. So that means it's not that he wanted to come or wanted not to come. So when he's saying, "If I had not come and spoken to them," he's not trying to say I didn't want to go. He's not trying to say I didn't want to go to the people, right? We both agree that he's not saying he doesn't want to go to the people so they won't hold the burden of sin. So the point is that what he's trying to say, he's trying to throw a point at them. He's not actually...
What's the point that he proved? What's the point? It's the point that I just explained, right?
Yeah.
Right. So same thing here. There's a desire in there. Is that if you were not to commit sin, what's the result of you not committing sin? Allah would sweep you out of existence. But here's where the desire of Allah is clear. Because it's not just that he would sweep you out of existence if you didn't sin. It's that he would replace you with someone who will sin. So that shows that Allah prefers a sinner, someone who sins, over someone who does not sin. He would rather have somebody who breaks his laws and commands than someone who obeys his laws and commands perfectly.
Yeah. So so just like Jesus is saying, the Jews of his time, they're without excuse for him rejecting him, because he spoke to them and they still rejected him, right? If he had not come to them, if he had not warned them, they wouldn't have been guilty. So what he's not trying to say, guys, I had to come down. You guys are now holding the responsibility of the proof being established on you. He's not saying I wish I didn't come. He is not saying I wish I did not come to you guys and give you the message of the truth to follow me and worship the Father alone.
Could we say that him coming down shows his desire to expose their sin and make them guilty of sin?
Him coming down was to expose their sins.
So that's what he wanted to do, right? He desired for their sin to be exposed and them to be guilty of the sin, right?
I'm not going to make that.
But does that make sense?
It's possible. It's possible.
Okay, so that logically follows from the statement, if I did not come, then they would not be guilty of sin. So him coming makes them guilty of sin, shows that he had the desire to expose their sin, right?
It's possible.
Okay, so that logically follows. So just like this, right here, Allah, if you do not sin, is going to sweep you out of existence. You will not exist anymore. You don't even get to go to paradise for your good deeds. You didn't sin. You did nothing but good. You don't get to go to paradise.
So if someone does not sin, they don't get to go to paradise.
According to this hadith, correct. That's correct. You're out.
Is it possible for someone not to sin?
Yeah.
Well, the Prophet says it's not.
Oh, he doesn't. He doesn't say it's impossible. He just says everyone sins. It's not. It doesn't say that it's impossible. Right?
That means it's impossible.
Do you believe Muhammad sinned?
Yeah.
Good. That was a little test. Do you believe Jesus sinned?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, this is the reason why I don't think that Allah is, like the Allah of Islam is the true God. The desire for people to sin rather than to be righteous. Jesus teaches the opposite. He says to be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. To love perfectly as your Father in heaven loves perfectly. We're supposed to reflect the character of God by being righteous, by doing good, and then we will be rewarded. It's the opposite in Islam. How Allah, instead of wanting you to be righteous and rewarding you for your righteousness, rewarding you for your obedience, He'll punish you by erasing you from existence and replace you with somebody who is unrighteous, disobedient, and going against Him.
All right. I'm gonna agree to disagree with you on that point, on that hadith. Is it alright if I can ask you about the Trinity in the Bible?
Sure.
So, in Exodus 20, it says, "You shall have no other gods besides me." The first commandment is saying that you should have no other gods besides the one true God. Right? So, from my perspective, I'm looking at Christianity. They're trying to encourage people to not only worship the Father, who's described as the one true God, but also worshiping Jesus alongside him. So, for me, I see one part of the Bible showing a creator that no one can see, showing a creator that has all the attributes of God, which is all-knowing, which is all-powerful, doesn't need to eat or drink. I'm looking at this description of God and how the Lord's Prayer is saying, our Father, hallowed be thy name, clearly worshipping and calling unto the Father. There's no mention of Jesus specifically in that prayer. So from my perspective, I see the Bible encouraging people to worship the one true God, the Creator. And then Jesus, he never explicitly says worship me. There are verses
you're giving me a lot of points. Which one do you want me to address?
The main point is the Bible encourages you to worship the Father. It describes him as having characteristics that Jesus doesn't have.
Like what?
For example, no one can see the Father.
No one can see the Father. Okay. And Jesus can be seen?
Yeah.
So what does that mean?
So to me that means that the Father, he has the characteristics and attributes that deserve to be worshipped.
Like being invisible? Why does that, how does that make somebody not God if you can be visible? Like, so just to be clear, if Allah can be seen, that would mean that he's not God?
Well, anything that's invisible doesn't mean it's God. For example, I can't see dark matter, doesn't mean I should worship it.
Exactly. So I don't understand the argument here. If it says that the Father can't be seen or has not been seen, which is fine, but Jesus can be seen, he's visible, or presents himself as visible in a lot of situations, that doesn't disqualify him from being God. That's just a distinction he has with the Father, though.
Right, so I think the verse in the Bible, it does not say that no one can see the Father. I think it
says no one has seen the Father. When it says no one has seen God at any time, it's always in reference to the Father. So
if I pull up that verse, no one can see God in the Bible, that doesn't refer to God. It refers specifically to the Father. That's what he said.
It's referring specifically to the Father.
Alright, let me check that. Alright, so John 1:18, no one has ever seen God. So for me that looks like God.
Wait, why'd you stop it? Finish it.
Okay. No one has ever seen God, but the one and the only Son, who himself, God, and is in closest relationship with the Father, has made him known.
So what did that just tell you? That the God who is not seen, the person who is God who is not seen, is the Father, but the Son who himself is God, he has made the Father known. He's explained him to creation.
So Jesus made him known.
Yep.
But no one has ever seen God.
You don't have to see him to know him. You can come to know him, have him be explained, his characteristics, his desires, his wants, his purpose for us, right? Without being seen, right? So that's what Jesus does for the Father. He reveals the Father to mankind, and in that very verse, you just read it, the Son himself is also God.
So this verse is saying there's someone who is God, who tells people about God, who makes the God known, and he tells people about them, right? And he's God.
Yep. So what you're seeing is a description of the relationship between two of the persons within the Trinity. Okay. So one of the persons, the Father, is unseen, invisible. No one has seen him. And the other person of the Trinity, the Son, he's the one who makes the Father known to people. He's the one who explains him, who declares him, who reveals him. That's what the Son does, who also is God. So you're seeing a description of the relationship between those two.
Yeah. So for example, 1 Timothy 6:16, who alone is immortal and lives in unapproachable light, whom no one has ever seen or can see. So how would you understand that?
Well, that one is talking about Jesus. right? And we see an example of this because this is Jesus after he was glorified, after he dealt his did his job here on earth, ascended to heaven in his glory. He dwells in unapproachable light, is immortal, never to die again. That's Jesus. And we see an example of this when Jesus appears to Paul on his way to Damascus. Paul gets blinded by the light protruding from Jesus. He couldn't see him.
Yeah. So you're saying that Jesus, when he was like trying to teach the people could see him, but then when he went back to heaven, no one could see him.
Yeah, he dwells in unapproachable light.
So does that mean God changed?
No, what it means is that Jesus goes from one work in his ministry when he humbled himself and took on flesh, and then once he handled his business here on earth, ascended and received his glory back, and dwells in that unapproachable light. His nature is not changed. Him dwelling in unapproachable light is not a change in his nature.
So what is it? So let me pull up the verse that means that God can't change. I'm not sure if you know it already. But
there's a bunch of them that say that God can't change in context of his promises, him not changing his word.
All right. While I pull up those verses about God cannot change. So you said 1 Timothy 6:16 is talking about Jesus. So Exodus 33:20 it says, "But he said, you cannot see my face, for man shall not see me and live." So here, this is talking about Moses, right? That he was told that no one can see God directly in this life. So are you
speaking of the Father, brother?
So you're saying this is the Father, yeah?
Yeah, whenever you have where it says no one has seen God or can see God, that's dealing with the Father in most of the contexts. When you get to 1 Timothy, that verse you're quoting deals with the Son after he is glorified. Right.
So okay. So Malachi 3:6 says, "For I the Lord do not change." Okay. "For I the Lord do not change, therefore, O children of Jacob are not consumed."
You see that? Therefore, the children of Jacob are not consumed. So God promised to preserve Israel because he made a covenant with them, with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Yeah. And so, despite Israel's rebellion against him, he's not going to go against his word and change his mind and now destroy and wipe out Israel. That's not what he's going to do. He's going to keep his promise. God is a God of his word. So he doesn't change his mind. That's what all of these, in context, that's what all of these, God doesn't change things. That's what it's always communicating in context.
So this verse is not really saying God does not change in form. It's just talking about a specific situation. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. So I've got a verse here that says, "God is not a man that he should lie, nor son of man that he should change his mind. Does he speak and then not act?" So for me, you see in Numbers 23:19, it looks like God is not a man. He does not change. He doesn't change his mind. So when I look at Jesus, he's a man. When I look at Jesus, he does change. So for me, it looks like Jesus does not follow the standards to be God.
You said Jesus doesn't follow the standards to be God because of what?
It says in Numbers 23:19, God is not a man that he should lie, nor the son of man
that he should change his mind. Is Jesus a man that he lies?
No, I don't think so.
Is he a son of man that Jesus changes his mind? Does he go back on his word when he says stuff?
Probably not.
So then Jesus fits the bill. If God were to become a man, because notice this verse doesn't say God cannot take on flesh. He cannot become a man. It says that he's not a man that he lies, nor a son of man that he changes his mind, right? So if God were to become a man, we would expect him to be a man of integrity, of consistency, one who never lies, one who never takes back his promises. That's exactly who Jesus is.
All right, so you're saying this disqualifies the ability of God becoming a man that is deficient, that lies or changes his mind, but it does not disqualify the fact he can become a perfect one.
Exactly.
Right.
So if you do me a favor, go to Isaiah chapter 9.
Yep.
And put in verse 6. This is going to tell you that God actually told us he's going to come he's going to come in human form. He's going to come as a man.
6. All right, Isaiah verse 9, 6. For unto us a child is born, and unto us a son is given, and the government shall be upon his shoulder, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty God, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace.
So you see how this says that the child to be born to us, the son, is God himself. He's the mighty God, the everlasting Father, Father of eternity.
Right, so when you're saying God, do you mean God as in like God to Pharaoh, or like?
No, this is God himself, brother. The mighty God. He's coming and being born as a boy.
Right. So
the Bible teaches us that God is going to come and take on flesh. He's going to come and take on human form.
Yeah. So I've got here that mighty God is used for other people too.
It's never used for anybody else. You'll never see the words El Gibor used for anybody else. The word in Hebrew is El, God, Gibor, mighty. Now you'll see the word mighty being used for others.
Yeah.
You'll never see El Gibor, anybody be identified as the mighty God. Matter of fact, there's only one other place in the Bible where El Gibor, the mighty God, is used. Want to know where? Go to the very next chapter, Isaiah 10. And you're going to put in verse 20 and 21. Super chat and audio should be good now. Come on, bro. Isaiah chapter 10, verses 20 and 21.
Cool. I saw the videos of you in the speaker's corner speaking to Ali Dawa.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, man. I like the costume. I like the chef costume.
Yeah, it was fun.
Alright, Isaiah 10, 20 to 21. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel, and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob, shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel in truth. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God.
So there it says that the Lord himself is the mighty God, right?
Lord, what did you say that?
It says that they're going to return to the Lord, to the mighty God, right?
Okay, so he says, shall stay upon the Lord in 20, and then mighty God in 21.
Yep, so, and all of this is about who Israel is returning to. Verse 20 says they're returning to the Lord, and by the way, it's Lord, the word Lord is in all capital letters, right?
Yeah.
That means that in the Hebrew, I don't, this is, sometimes in a lot of English translations, they'll translate the name of God to Lord. They won't actually translate it, but it's the tetragrammaton, or God's name, which is Yahweh. Right? So really it says that they'll return to Yahweh, and then in verse 21, it tells you who he is, the mighty God. They're going to return to the mighty God. So Yahweh is the mighty God, the Most High God. He's the mighty God. This is the only other place that El Gibor is used in the Hebrew. All right. And so when we make the connection, what do we see? So we see that Yahweh, God, is the mighty God, and we see in the chapter prior that the mighty God is going to come to us as a boy, as a young boy, as a son. He's going to be born to us.
Yeah. Okay. So, so you're saying Isaiah 9:6 calls the child Al Gibor, the mighty God. Yeah. And Isaiah 10:21, Yahweh is also called Al Gibor. So therefore, the child must be Yahweh.
That's right.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I guess my final question would be a more of a broad question. So basically, we have to worship the Creator, worship God, the all-knowing, all-powerful. The Bible is saying, according to what you have said, that a human being can be God, and God can take on flesh, etc. So how would I trust that? How would I know if the Bible is reliable?
Oh man, you done asked my favorite question. You're a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Well, your Quran tells you that the Bible is reliable. You have to believe it.
Let's talk about the Injil or the Bible.
That's what the Injil is in the Bible. The Bible is a collection of all these books: the Torah, the writings of the prophets, the Zabur, the Injil. All of these different books are in the Bible.
Right. So I'm aware that there's like 25,000 Latin manuscripts, like 5,000 Greek manuscripts, and some Christian church fathers decided to make a few canon, or decide that these are the most reliable, authentic ones.
TikTok, my moderators, are y'all there? Like, what's going on? I'm seeing this guy just continue to spam. I shouldn't have to check this. Come on, guys. Moderators on TikTok, make sure you guys are on it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was saying that if you look at it, right, What was the specific point I mentioned again?
You were talking about the manuscripts. You say we have a lot of Greek manuscripts, like 25,000 or something like that, or 5,000 Greek manuscripts and yada yada yada.
Yeah, so I'm saying there were so many manuscripts, and we say the Injil was given to Jesus.
Okay.
Right. The manuscripts that you guys.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The manuscripts that you guys have compiled into the Bible today, I wouldn't be able to verify if they were the original Injil that was given to Jesus.
Why not?
I'd have no way of verifying if they are originally from Jesus.
Think about this. Your Quran says that there was an Injil in the 7th century, in Muhammad's time, that was in the possession of the Christians, right?
Yeah.
So the Quran says that the Injil, the gospel, that the Christians have in the 7th century is good. It's true.
Yeah.
Well, we have what they had in the 7th century and beyond that, before that. So what the Quran is pointing to and affirming is what we have always had. You don't even need to go, as a Muslim, you don't even need to go back to the 1st century, 2nd, 3rd. You don't need to go way back there. All you need to do is go back to the 7th century and see what was the gospel in the 7th century. And when we look at it, we have the manuscripts. We got the Peshitta. We got the Garima Gospels from the Ethiopians that are Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And all the church history that you have for the first 600 years, all the way in Muhammad's time, has always been Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John that the Christians were using.
All right, so let's say that I agree that the Injil or whatever part of it was present and affirmed to be the Injil in the Prophet's time in Mecca or Medina.
Yeah,
that might be here today, might not be today. I don't know if that's the Bible today. I cannot confirm that.
Well, yes, you can. If you're going to be hyper skeptical, then I would hope that you would do that about the Quran too. If you're going to be that hyper skeptical, you have to say then you can't verify that you have the Quran then. But that's another subject. I just want you to make sure you got to be consistent with your thinking. Your Quran says the gospel is there, right? Yeah. So, and then all you got to do is look at the evidence. Okay, the gospel is there. The Christians had it. What did the Christians have historically in the 7th century and prior and before that? And when you're looking at it, it's consistently Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John as the gospel. Consistently.
So these gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, this is what I've been hearing online about them. So they are a copy of a copy of a copy of Q.
The manuscripts that we have?
Yeah, and the original source is Q source, M source, all of these sources.
Q doesn't exist.
Right?
Q is just theoretical. It's just they theorize.
So if we don't have those originals, we're just trusting a copy of a copy of a copy, and we don't have much information on those authors. Shouldn't there be some question marks on whether these sources are reliable or not? Because let's say I don't know if this copy of a copy of a copy is the original that Jesus was given, then from my perspective, I'm going to say, okay, whatever this is saying, can I 100% trust this? If this is saying that Jesus did this and that,
I don't think you get my argument. Your Quran says that you have to trust the gospel in the 7th century.
Yeah, it says I have to trust that there was the Injil present.
Not that it was just present in Mecca, that it's true.
Yeah, so it was the original gospel that was given to Jesus.
So that means whatever gospel they had way in the 7th century is still the authentic gospel of Jesus. We have that and what was prior to that. That's what I'm telling you.
So you have what was in Mecca in the 7th century.
We have what the Christians had in the 7th century, my brother. You know Muhammad and his companions were very acquainted with the Ethiopians, right? The Ethiopian Christians.
Yeah.
Right? So they used to go over there to seek shelter and help when they were on the run and stuff. And they even had these conversations about the Quran and what they believe about Jesus and stuff. Yeah. They were identified as believers. They were the people of the book. The Ethiopians. Matter of fact, there's a hadith where one of them was with the Ethiopian, and they were reading the scripture. They were reading out of the gospel, and one of the companions laughed, and then he said, "Well, do you laugh at the revelation of Allah?"
Yeah.
And the guy shut up. So we have what the Ethiopians had, man. before even the 7th century. We have that.
Yeah. So you're saying that the Quran is saying follow the Injil, and you're saying that's the Bible that we have today.
Correct. Can't be anything else.
All right.
This is there.
All right. I'm just gonna.
You are gonna agree to disagree?
No. I want to say it. Let's take that as a logical conclusion for now. Let's say that the Quran does say that.
Yep.
We all agree we have to worship the Creator alone, right?
Yeah.
And if I just worship the Creator, I believe Jesus is a prophet. What happens from your paradigm?
Well, according to Jesus, if you just demean him, it's like this. If I were to say, I bring my mom to introduce her to you. What's your name, bro? I can't read Arabic, so what can I call you?
You can call me Tamid.
Tamid?
Yeah.
Tamid. Okay, so I'm introducing, my mother to you. But when I introduce her to you, I say, Tamid, this is a good friend of mine. Very nice, very generous person, just a good friend. She's not my mother. Don't get it twisted. She's not my mother. She's just a mere friend.
Yeah.
You think that that's respectful to my mother?
No, it's disrespectful.
Right. So I'm disrespecting who she truly is, even if I'm saying other good things about her. But when I reject who she truly is, then I don't really respect her. I don't really honor her. It's the same thing with Jesus. Jesus says that he is the divine Son of God who came down to the earth in man and human form. The prophet said it, and he came and fulfilled it. And he says, believe in me. He says this, unless you believe that I am he, you will die in your sins. That's what Jesus says. So saying that he's a good teacher or a mighty prophet, none of that matters if you reject who he truly is. You're going to die in your sins. That's what Jesus says. So
the people that were the previous prophets, they wouldn't have taught about Jesus coming in the flesh, etc. So
brother, I just showed you one. Isaiah 9:6. Remember?
So you believe that other prophets came to teach that God can come in flesh?
Yet this was revealed gradually over time. Yes, through different prophets. Isaiah is one of them. Zechariah is another. Moses is another, actually. Yes.
So, I think we can safely say that there were quite a few people that worshipped God without believing he was a human.
He wasn't a human at the time. He took on flesh. He took on the form of man.
Yeah.
Right? Without ceasing to be God. That's what the prophets taught.
Yeah, so let's say that he wasn't a human before. The people that wouldn't believe that he was a human, would they go heaven?
Brother, nobody doubted that God could take on flesh. Nobody rejected that. You understand what I'm saying?
So you're telling me if I ask someone who was at the time of Solomon, David, Moses, if I ask them, look, can God stop being all knowledgeable, all knowing?
No, that's not what we believe, brother. Are you doing this on purpose?
So you told me that Jesus, when he came down on earth,
Jesus is God, brother. He's God. He has all the properties of God. He doesn't stop being God.
So he
just takes on a human nature and walks amongst us and humbles himself to human limitations without losing his divine properties. So this is what he can do. He's God. All the properties that make God God, that's what he is. Do you agree that if God wanted to, do you agree that, like, just for example, Prophet Isaiah showed you that he believes that God is going to come in the flesh?
Isaiah said God's going to come in the flesh.
Brother, man, what have we been doing this whole time, man? Do you remember the
child of God?
I showed you? Yeah.
The child of God being Al-Gibor.
The mighty God? You don't remember?
All right. Yeah, that sounds logical.
Yep. Go to Malachi, chapter 3.
Well, where's Isaiah? In the New Testament or Old Testament?
All of this is Old Testament, brother. Isaiah is 700 years before Jesus is born. Go to Malachi.
Yep. What verse?
Chapter 3.
Malachi chapter 3, yeah.
Verse 1.
Chapter 3, verse 1.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all's support, man. I'm not having a great time streaming right now, just going through this learning curve, but I appreciate you guys, man, for supporting and being encouraging.
All right, Malachi chapter 3 verse 1. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me, and the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple.
Do you see who does it say is going to come to the temple?
He said he will send my messenger.
Who specifically?
I don't know.
Again. Read it again.
Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me.
All right, pause there. So God is going to send his messenger, and the messenger is going to prepare the way for who?
Before me.
So before God. So God is going to come after the messenger comes, right?
Yeah, the messenger is going to prepare a way for God. Yeah.
So you have God saying, hey guys, I'm coming. I'm letting you know before it happens, I'm on my way. First, I'm going to send my messenger in this wilderness. Then I'm going to follow and come after him. All right. So the one coming is God after he sends his messenger. Right. And then continue.
And the Lord whom ye seek shall suddenly come to his temple.
So the Lord who you seek is going to suddenly show up to his temple. So God is going to come in creation. His temple's here on earth. He's going to come in creation and visit his creatures. He's going to come to us and visit his temple. That's another one believing that God is going to come in the flesh. All right, I hear you now if you spoke. So that's Malachi. You want to see another one?
Yeah, go on.
Go to Zechariah. Z-E, well, you know how to spell Zechariah, right?
Yeah.
Yep, go to Zechariah, chapter 12.
Yeah.
Verse 10.
Verse 10, cool.
Man, you could type, bro. I can't even type that fast.
I have to pull up this verse.
Go ahead.
All right. And I will pour on the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplications. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. They shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and shall be the bitterness for him as one that is in the bitterness of his firstborn.
Hold on a second. You mean to tell me that God is saying that he was pierced? How in the world can God be pierced?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Unless he takes on flesh, right? That's the only way he can be pierced. And look who it is that's having pleas of supplication and mercy. Who does it say he's going to pour out his spirit on, and they're going to start crying out for mercy, pleading for mercy and supplication? Who is it?
Who is being mentioned here?
Yeah. Who is it? He says, I'm going to pour out my spirit on who?
Pour his spirit on who? Who does it say? On the house of David.
Yes, on the house of David. And
upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
So the Israelites, Bnei Israel, he's going to pour out his spirit on Bnei Israel, the children of Israel, right? The house of David, the people of Jerusalem. And the Bnei Israel, they're going to look on God. They're going to see, he says, they're going to look on me whom they've pierced. They're going to see him. They're going to see him whom they pierced. Now remember, the Father is invisible, but the Son is not. He's visible. He appears, right? Now, they're going to look on him and they're going to see, oh my gosh, that's the one we pierced. And then they're going to mourn. They're going to cry. They're going to plead for mercy. They're going to ask for forgiveness because they recognize the one whom they pierced. What does this sound like to you? When did the Jews pierce God? According to biblical standards, according to the biblical narrative. When did the Jews pierce God?
They pierced Jesus.
Exactly. So even in Zechariah, and I believe this is maybe 200 years, 300 years before Jesus. Don't quote me. I don't know. Between 200 to 300 years, I think. But anyway, a few hundred years before Jesus, you got prophet Zechariah who's who's preaching that God appeared in the flesh and was pierced for us.
This is Old Testament, right?
Yeah, this is Old Testament. This is before Jesus. This is before the New Testament. So no Christian has any dealing with this. This is before Christianity.
Oh, that's interesting.
So how many is that? We got Isaiah, who says that the Son is going to be born. The mighty God, the everlasting Father, is going to be born to us, take on the form of a son. We got Malachi, chapter 3, who says that God is going to come and he's going to show up to his temple. And then we got Zechariah, who says that God is going to show up. They're going to see him. The Jews are going to see him, the one who they pierced. And this happened when he was on the cross. So the Old Testament is showing you that the Messiah, that Jesus, is fulfilling what these prophets already told us is going to happen, and it's going to be happening with God. God is going to be the one doing this. He's going to come in flesh. He's going to come to his temple. He's going to be born of a virgin as a son, and he's going to be the one who's crucified on our behalf.
Yeah, it sounds like the Old Testament hints towards God's being a man.
Yep.
All right.
So when all this happens, right? Notice I gave you three prophets, excluding Jesus, because I could give you Jesus where Jesus says this is about me. This is to fulfill prophecy. Jesus already says this. This is 4 of them. Jesus, Isaiah, Malachi, Zechariah. I could show you David. I could show you Daniel. I can show you Moses. I could keep going on. But for sake of time, I only gave you these 4 to show you that the scripture is consistent in its message. It's consistent, right?
Yeah.
So who should I go with? I like to ask this to my Muslim friends all the time. Who should I go with? All the prophets who are in line with each other, who over generations continue to spread the same message and are consistent, or do I go with a prophet who contradicts what they said?
Yeah, so the Old Testament, from what you've shown, Malachi, chapter 3, Isaiah 6, Zechariah, they clearly sound like they're showing that God is a man. So me, I'll be like, cool. The Bible, the New Testament, it looks like Jesus is God there. It looks like Jesus is God in the Old Testament. Cool. That's interesting. I'm gonna have to accept that from what you've shown me. You brought the receipts, you brought the evidences. But from my perspective, I'm gonna have to think about it.
Yeah, think about it. But when you think about it, take it seriously, bro. Don't put this off to the side and brush it off like, yo, that was an interesting conversation and never really deal with it again. No, this is important. This is life or death. This is heaven and hell. It's either these scriptures are true and Jesus is God in the flesh, that the Old Testament foretold and told us through the prophets that this was going to happen, that this is truly God's revelation. So you got to either accept God's revelation or reject it and be on the opposite side of him. You know, right. This is serious.
Yeah, where can I go to learn about if these the Old Testament, New Testament is reliable? Where can I go to?
That's a good question, bro. I don't have any specific articles per se. Hold on, let me ask somebody because I got some friends here. I got some people who are better in that field than I am. So let me ask some of my friends here. I'm sure they're listening.
So you looking for a book?
Are you looking for a book, video, articles? What are you looking for?
I just want to know if this is what the message is. How do I know if it's original from the source?
Sure. So maybe a book or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask my chat. Guys, what are some good sources for reliability of the OT and new T? All right, I'll wait till they respond and see what they come up with. But just to point you to some videos, some YouTube channels that are excellent with this, who are guys that I learned from myself. Okay, have you heard of Inspiring Philosophy?
Nope.
Okay, check out Inspiring Philosophy on YouTube. Inspiring Philosophy. He actually did a playlist dedicated to the New Testament reliability.
Yeah.
Right. He gives you sources, scholars, books that you can read and look into, articles, whatever. Excellent resource, Inspiring Philosophy. His playlist is amazing. It really is. So go to Inspiring Philosophy. Yeah. Put in these are I even have these books. So Inspiring Philosophy on YouTube. And also another one is Wes Huff. Have you heard of Wes Huff? No. WESHUFF. Yeah. So Wes Huff, he's a scholar himself. Yeah. Wes Huff is good with reliability of the Bible, Old Testament and New Testament. So if you check out Wes Huff and his videos, and he also has articles. He has a website where he gives you articles, graphs, manuscript pictures, and all that kind of stuff. You can check those two out, Inspiring Philosophy and Wes Huff. Just to start off, those are some really good people to watch. Okay,
cool.
Yep, I appreciate the conversation, man. This is good.
Thank you, man. I appreciate all the knowledge, and thank you for the discussion.
For sure, man. You asked good questions today, so that was good. It's awesome. All right, God bless you, bro.
All right, man. Take care.
All right, peace.
All right, welcome back, guys. That was very amazing and very educating moment. Share your thoughts, what you were able to learn in the comment section. Don't forget to share this video with your friends, your family. Subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this. I can boldly dare to say that there is a spiritual blockage that has blinded the minds and the eyes of these young guys, as there is no other way to explain this level of delusion. This once again shows that Allah cannot keep his word, because Jesus was perfect according to the Quran. Even the Quran proves that Jesus was without sin, yet he did not wipe him out from existence. And not just Jesus, but all the prophets, since they believed that all the prophets were perfect and they were sinless, Islam doesn't make sense at all. Allah wants you to sin so he can feel powerful over you, and that right there is a satanic mentality. This is why he wants you to submit to him by force, or else he will unalive you. The only entity that wants you to sin is Satan. This alone has proven again that Allah of the Quran is no other person but Satan, the devil. There is no righteous God that will want his followers to sin against him, else he will wipe them off existence. The only entity that wants you to sin is Satan, and that right there can only mean one thing, that Allah is Satan. Allah loves sins. Thank you guys for watching. Share this video, subscribe. We'd love to see you in the next episode.